Ok. On en était où?
Life doesn't need to be a struggle. I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich. Talk to Angry Hardway first.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, all right?
Look, in his hand, going into his mouth, the sandwich. It's hauntingly beautiful.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
Ok.
That's the spirit. Don't even waste your breath asking about the game. They wouldn't know anyway.
Je connais le jeu.
They're way past their prime. This felt wrong. Wrong like touching.
Mon Dieu! Good job, officer. That was an excellent throw.
There are no two more harmful words an athlete can hear. Mossback and his shitty ball are mocking you. You need to get angry. Use swear words. Mention spunk.
What are you talking about? You just executed a pretty much...
With a pinch of fear.
How are you ever going to get the officer's shit off your nose, Gaston? Or even climb out of his ass?
The man in the uniform says nothing. His gaze is... His merry partner is staring at the ground. The lieutenant is looking at you. His face is expressionless.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely. In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets. If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff no longer concerns me.
This is a man with with a lot of past, but little present, and almost no future.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Okay.
I do. Fire from heavy artillery.
Heavy artillery fire, you say? That's the best kind of artillery fire.
Why what? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough. This place is the damn beachhead, son. They had to soften the commies up first. Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol.
He finds your lack of historic knowledge troubling, a sign of mental deterioration in the preceding generation.
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we played pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil. Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too.
He approves of this radical approach, knows it was necessary.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still all influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players at the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think? I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned to Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was the plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with. A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frisel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile. Damn Frisel. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution. The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already?
Soon, they will forget everything. Him too. Then,
It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Fifth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire. Ah, yes! King Philip III, on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
cocaine. Cocainum sounds like our kind of king. And
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule.
Testament de ce que ce pays soit juste d'un roi ultime, un monarque sans régner.
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood. Revachol would be a different place if more people realized that. We could still be the...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
the Carabineer doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve.
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts. His egocentricity is borderline legendary.
You can't even take responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler? That's why the Philippian kings use cocaine. For clarity of vision. To aid in their work. Regnum cocainum. Revachol's finest years.
Ça va, Arcangelo? Grey War Conflict, je connais pas. Ça, c'est un jeu qui s'appelle Disco Elysium. Qui apparemment est une petite pépite. Tu dois mener une enquête. T'es keuf. Mais t'es un peu un keuf alcoolique. Et il y a un pendu derrière un resto. Et du coup, là, tu mènes l'enquête dans la ville. T'interroges des gens. Ouais, ça va, tranquille. Grey War Conflicts. Attends, laisse-moi regarder un peu. Que je comprenne de quoi tu me parles. Grey Warfare. Ah ouais, Grey Zone là. Ouais, je vois le jeu. Je vois le jeu dans lequel tu me parles.
I'm satisfied with this explanation.
Of course. Clarity of vision. Awareness.
Philippe Zitter was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court medic administered a dose to his mother when she was in labor. It is well known
27.6.
that with the help of cocaine, only the purest, of course, he was able to connect with higher realms.
Ah ouais? Pourquoi il va se faire bannir?
Higher realms. Of course, it all makes sense.
Please, officer, don't encourage him. Do spare us the cocaine fairy tales. The RCM isn't interested in them.
Yes, indeed. We're not here to investigate the drug trade of centuries past.
Right.
Son, you've really let yourself go. It's a disgrace. But Coach Physical Instrument is going to get you back in prime condition, even if it takes 1,000,000 push-ups. Does a master swordsman insult his own blade? No.
Ok.
I'm going to turn you into an athletic benchmark.
Je pense qu'on le saura tôt ou tard pourquoi. Je vais faire de toi un modèle d'athlétisme.
It's going to take blood, sweat, piss, and tears. But when I'm done with you, boy, you will be a master athlete. When a man sets his mind and body on something and gives his 110%, he is sometimes going. Behold, world. Here walks a sportsman, hands choked and hair kept.
Ok, ok. Ouais, on va voir, hein. Ils ont le temps de clarifier la situation si ça sort le 27. À quoi de beau t'as joué toi en ce moment?
There are clothes inside. Cheap second-hand clothes.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Same.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand, buy second hand. Keep the economy moving.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments
Assassin.
made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat. in
Ça va,
all
tu le
the
kiffes,
wrong
le jeu?
places.
Tu joues plus avec la meuf ou avec Yasuke là, je sais plus comment il s'appelle.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first hand.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors.
Ouais, je te dis, c'est une petite enquête de police. Apparemment, c'est un jeu qui fait partie des classiques du jeu vidéo. Tout le monde dit qu'il est extraordinaire et tout, donc je l'essaye. C'est une trentaine d'heures. Il faut juste finir l'enquête d'un mec qui s'est pendu, mais apparemment, c'est pas un suicide.
I can see you with taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
A pair of found ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colorway, a jet black upper, and a silver-lined midsole.
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers. Super air, super fine, super cool. Only 50 riyal.
Ah oui, donc ok, donc t'as des équipements qui te donnent des points. Et j'ai pas les thunes.
These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable found ultras atop them.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The sneakers are the stars here. These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for props. Don't waste your time on them.
Après, est-ce que les...
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small...
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can...
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let you have them for 2 riyal and 50 cents.
Ouais, moi non plus, je suis pas trop fan de ces jeux-là de base, mais je me suis dit que j'allais le tester.
They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot and baggy eyes.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this through, officer.
Ah, électrochimie, c'est pas mal.
A good starter pair, officer. And when you're ready to upgrade, come back and see me.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here. Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
Ah ouais, quel jeu? Quel jeu elle a pris, ta chérie?
From out on the bay, a cool sweeps into the city, tugging at the textiles hanging around the
You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang! You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you in some premium menswear instead. Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. Very sharp, officer. I'm Serais from the Sigai province of the Serais Empire. The apricot suzerainty, you know?
The apricot suzerainty is what the Seaguy archipelago is commonly known as in Revachol. It's a bit of a fraught term, I'm sure you understand.
Ah, ok.
No, apricots come from Sigai. My grandma used to grow them. But Sigai is a shithole. That's why I came to Revachol. Here's much better for an independent entrepreneur. Less laws. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur? I send half my profits back to my grandma in Sigai.
Well, if it's for his grandma, you should buy a lot of things.
Let's go, on a des petites lunettes. Le Dune, non, je vais pas le prendre. C'est pas trop mon style de jeu en vrai. Enfin, en fait, c'est quand même un jeu de construction quoi. Et je suis pas trop fan des constructions. Je suis pas trop fan des constructions, donc. À voir, apparemment. Une sorte de machine ancienne, caisse enregistreuse. Apparemment, c'est cool en multi. J'ai regardé pas mal de gens. J'ai regardé pas mal de gens jouer en groupe sur les bêta tests quand le jeu il a été ouvert à certains influenceurs, Twitchers et tout. Et quand t'es en groupe et tout, c'est cool. Hein.
Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back.
Ouais, je peux pas à 42%, je joue encore.
Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine. Big men on big horses, clad in lamella armor and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of.
Non, Clair Obscur, je l'ai pas pris non plus, Expédition 33. Non, ça faisait beaucoup de jeux à acheter, donc je suis un peu passé à côté d'Expédition 33. Je le prendrai peut-être un jour plus tard, je pense qu'ils vont sortir un DLC de ce... Ça a tellement été un succès, en plus français. Je pense qu'ils sont à plus de 3 millions de copies vendues. Donc je pense ils vont poser un DLC. Et à la limite, je ferai la découverte. Le DLC, il sortira dans plusieurs années. Hein. Enfin, pas plusieurs années, peut-être pas, mais peut-être qu'ils vont poser une nouvelle partie de map avec quelques boss annexes et tout sur l'année prochaine. Je sais pas trop ce qu'ils ont prévu, les mecs de le studio français qui a fait Expédition 33. Et du coup, le but, ce serait de pas passer à côté cette fois et de le faire, quoi. Mais là, j'avoue que j'étais dans quoi quand il y a eu Expédition 33 ? Je sais plus ce que j'ai fait. J'ai fait Doom et j'ai fait... Il y en avait un autre pendant Expédition 33. Mais ouais, ça me plaît bien, mais après, ils sont encore un peu chers, les jeux. C'est pareil, la Life of Pi, là, tu sais, avec... Dans le monde... Ah, la Dark Souls, un peu, dans le monde de Pinocchio. Ils ont annoncé un DLC. Donc peut-être que je ferai Life of Pi plus le DLC.
A long, long time ago. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets.
This is what the loyalists looked like, yes, at first. Then they wised up and got camouflage.
Which ones? Ah, royalist soldiers from the time of the revolution. The uniforms are painted a bit too brightly, I suppose.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some
Ouais, il y a trop de jeux qui sortent en ce moment. Et 2026, je sais pas si t'as vu, il y a eu le State of Play de PlayStation hier. Et il y a eu pas mal de jeux annoncés. Il y a eu une sorte de Mortal Kombat, mais sous la licence Marvel. Un versus fighting dans l'univers de Marvel. Il y a eu la première bande-annonce. Alors, il n'y a pas de date, ils ont dit 2026. Mais il y a eu la première bande-annonce du nouveau James Bond. Il y a eu le premier... et on en a eu des images de gameplay du dernier Metal Gear Solid aussi, Snake là, qui va sortir. On a eu... qu'est-ce qu'on a eu de beau hier aussi ? On a eu Nioh 3. Je sais pas si t'avais fait les Nioh. C'est un peu des Souls-like, mais enfin plus... c'est plus sur le système de parade. Il y a eu pas mal de jeux d'annoncés sur 2026. Là, sur cet été, t'as quoi ? T'as Mafia qui sort, Mafia 3,
You're probably talking
Witcher
about
4, ouais, j'ai vu, enfin Witcher 4,
Yes, they are soldiers, revolutionary soldiers.
Witcher 4, ouais, pareil, ils ont dit 2026, mais on sait pas trop. Ouais, ça va être... Il y a un DLC avec une nouvelle ville dans Cyberpunk. Il y a vraiment pas mal de jeux qui sortent là sur fin 2025, début 2026.
I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. Okay, I don't like either set too much, to be honest.
Ouais, Witcher 4, t'as vu les images, ça va être fou, hein. C'est beau, hein.
He seems to have his own take on the
Il semble avoir une
conflict
vision
played
très
out
personnelle
in
du conflit qui se
perpetuity
livre
by
dans des
his
soldats.
toys. Might be interesting to find out what it is.
Putain, 42, c'est pas possible.
A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Le 24 juin, il sort un... Je sais quoi le jeu?
The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved and well traveled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Golden orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it.
J'ai pas de thune.
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres. E is the Harman Welsh W2, made in...
12 balles, je peux pas.
It's not often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
Ah, Death Stranding 2, ouais. T'avais fait le 1? Moi, j'avais pas fait le 1. Mais pareil, tu vois, Death Stranding... Je sais pas, apparemment c'est extraordinaire. Il y en a qui disaient que c'était un peu longué. En gros, tu dois transporter le fœtus un peu à travers la map en marchant et tout. Je sais pas trop comment ils ont pensé le 2, est-ce qu'il faut faire le 1 avant et tout.
What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travellers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
Ah ouais? Ouais, vas-y, je testerai le 1 alors, hein, si tu me le conseilles. Je testerai.
Entertained.
C'est vrai que c'était une ambiance de fou. J'avais vu un mec faire un peu la découverte sur YouTube du 1 et c'est vrai que l'environnement, les musiques et tout, c'était... J'ai quelque chose à vendre.
Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light.
Vas-y, vas-y.
While the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Prolidon.
En plus, je l'ai le 1.
By on the street.
Je l'ai. Je l'avais acheté, tu vois. Je l'avais acheté à l'époque. Parce que je voulais le tester. Donc il est dans ma bibliothèque. Sensation de chaleur, fascination pour les moments de lumière, tandis que l'esprit continue de s'emballer. Il a une des chances, cet enfoiré. Il est sans doute cramé au pilon, c'est le truc qui ne
A
court pas.
drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Why on earth? These are prescription. I can't really see without them.
Ah ouais, ils vont pas mettre de cartes sur le 2. Waouh. Tu vas être content de trouver un truc, hein. Putain, par contre, il va falloir que tu sois en possibilité de le ramasser ou de te souvenir où il est, quoi. Parce que s'il n'y a pas de carte, c'est chaud. Peut-être qu'il y aura un système où tu pourras mettre des balises.
There's a note of indignation in his voice. Those triangle patches on his vest, you have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
I was with the emergency relief brigade. You know, after the People's Pile disaster. Had to take Perolidon for radiation sickness. That's what you were hinting at just now, wasn't it?
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile.
Ah ouais, il faut un early access de 2 jours. À 90 balles. Et tu penses qu'il faut que je fasse le 1 avant?
So much disappointment, an early death, cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could. No one's. Everyone's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen? The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it. So I came to Martinez. People told me
C'est
don't
mieux pour
go
voir
there.
si tu es bien ou
It's a
pas.
shithole.
Tu as fait le
I
2.
said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can.
Ah ouais,
Still
faudra
in
que tu
the
regardes,
same
ouais.
city, but
Après, peut-être que maintenant sur ces jeux-là, et maintenant il y a une aide audio qui est vraiment bien développée. Je pense qu'ils anticipent, hein. Je pense que même s'il y a beaucoup à lire, tu vas pouvoir avoir un système de dictée. Mais si tu t'es régalé sur le 1, à mon avis, ils vont pas trop s'éloigner de l'univers du 1. Et du coup, je pense pas qu'il y aurait plus à lire, quoi. Je vais essayer de... Ah, pas tout le jeu, il y a ça. Ouais, pas tous les jeux, il y a ça. Ouais, ouais. Faudrait regarder s'il y est sur le 2, quoi. Ce système pour t'aider.
we were an all-volunteer force, self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill.
Tough son of a gun, this one. Respect.
I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance. Didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out.
Ouais. Ouais, c'est sûr, c'est pas grave, mais c'est mieux quand même.
We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick. A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes
Ouais,
of
putain,
bringing
t'imagines
affordable
sans carte?
electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you too. I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone.
No one likes to see what you have to see every day.
The corpse behind the hostel I assume. I don't have a truck with a mounted platform or anything of that sort myself.
Ouais, ouais, je regarderai, je regarderai. Peut-être pas demain, mais je vais le faire, ouais. Je vais le faire, je vais le faire. De toute façon, c'était prévu que je le fasse.
Ask around the harbour. There might be some workers.
The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Ah merde.
What? Sold? The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just
Ah, j'avais pas perdu mon flingue en fait, je l'avais vendu à un prêteur sur gage.
Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
On sait que c'est une meuf.
His face does not reveal what's happening inside.
Elle veut peut-être jouer la justicière et prouver qu'elle peut faire du boulot mieux que nous.
It's possible in these parts of town. We ought to find her and discourage her from taking justice into her own hands.
My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she was coming from or where she went.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now.
Of course. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Ah, peut-être que je vais en avoir besoin du stylo. Je vais pas vendre mes fringues.
Another time, perhaps. Have you tried it before?
Alors déjà, on a un point de compétence à se mettre. On sait pas trop quoi se mettre aussi. On va essayer de se faire un profil un peu torturé. Esprit de corps. Vas-y, vas-y, ça m'a fait plaisir que tu passes, Angelo. Bon gaming. Ouais, ouais, sûrement à demain ou plus tard, ouais. Profite de ton gaming. Ignorer la souffrance, c'est encaisser les coups sans broncher. Ouais, ouais, moi ça joue à tout, ouais. On a le temps de tester, comme on dit, hein. Imposez le respect et affirmez-vous. Empathie. Empire intérieur, seuil de douleur. Cherchez votre arme.
It's almost like he's worried for you. The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Go ahead then, he thinks. As long as you can walk straight, I don't care.
Ah ouais, là, je peux me droguer.
Here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained Parolidon. Straight into your gut.
Of course.
Coach physical instrument. Wait, how did you know all those hammer throw techniques? How do you know how to hold a discus? Or the world youth record in discus? Something doesn't add up here. This mushy thing between your ears didn't know the name of the city you're in, but it comes loaded with trivia about the correct chin position of a shot-put ball. Could it be that? Shut up, namby-pamby. This train of thought ends abruptly. It's leg day. Straighten your rhombus muscle. It's shirts versus skins.
Ok. Ah, je suis peut-être pas obligé de l'apprendre maintenant, quoi. Ok, on a fait le tour de sa boutique. Et on en a pris un peu plus sur l'arme qu'on a perdue. C'est une meuf qui nous l'a pris. Oh, let's go. Vêtements. Affinité mécanique, on s'en bat les couilles. Ok, on a des gants. On avait regardé ça. Let's go. T'es qui toi? Ah, il y a tout un système d'horaire aussi. Je sais pas quel jour on est, mais...
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock, and his posture is relaxed. Despite his powerful build and a knife in his hand, this man resorts to physical intimidation only infrequently, if at all.
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revachol.
Peut-être un peu trop la lumière. Peut-être mieux comme ça.
The words Daredevil Driver sound ominous.
Ah, c'est vrai que je suis teubé, moi.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here. Especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins.
Je crois qu'il me filerait un petit bout de saucisson, il a l'air gentil.
Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
Et du coup, il me l'a donné la tranche. Je vais me retirer le... Je vais me retirer les pieds de biche parce que je me balade avec un pied de biche depuis le début de l'enquête, tu sais. Ok. Bon, faut trouver une meuf qui a notre arme. Lui, on pouvait pas aller beaucoup plus loin, je crois, ici. Non. Donc en bas on n'a pas fait. On va peut-être trouver des pièces dans la poubelle. Ah. Donc il faut qu'on prenne le sac ici. tout prendre. Ah merde. Je peux plus retourner à la
This
poubelle une fois.
coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently inaccessible. A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side, with N and C scribbled backwards. Under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross top. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
On va parler à lui. Ok. Ah, maintenant je peux ramasser des trucs. On va pouvoir se faire de l'oseille petit à petit. On va parler au Tcho là. On va aller voir sa boutique elle. Et ensuite on va remonter par derrière. Je sais pas pourquoi il me suit plus le mec. Bon, eh bien. On va faire le tour de la boutique avant de lui parler, la dame. Il y a l'air d'avoir un petit passage.
The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of famous people. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a
Les
bell.
gars, ça a sonné, j'arrive. Je peux laisser comme ça. Je vais mettre en AFK. Ok les gars. Ok. Alors la plaque sur l'étagère, indigne.
I would say the greatest innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to inauthentic power. A very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the inauthentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's some...
Mais j'ai pas de thunes aussi.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme, Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alamer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you. Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol, with a radius of 80 kilometers, still the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods. But looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods. God. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Hors de question de vous voir ouvrir un kiosque de police juste en face, s'il vous plaît.
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. Various paranatural books still litter the shelf. These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a...
Sex crimes did pique your interest, but still, this Dick Mullen person only gets your pleasure centers down. Crime fiction is a disgrace, an asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up. Furthermore, they have no idea how hard it is to simply remove a body from a tree. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf? Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtain.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books...
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop...
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything...
Lies. Rip them open, we say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. You see a tattered set of curtains and a polyhedron-shaped cage-like trinket.
Bah, moi je veux rentrer, moi.
You see a tattered set of curtains and You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like...
I warned you! You're unleashing forces beyond your understanding!
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. What if you just break it down?
J'ai 72% de réussir à se lancer. J'ai réussi. J'ai pas réussi.
You smash into the wood and see a small crack appear on the door frame. It's going to take one more try to break through to the other side. But you've done it.
You're not thinking of trying again, are you?
Bent metal, broken glass. Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter. Kudos.
Pour l'instant, je peux pas intérioriser parce que peut-être qu'il y en a déjà une en cours. Ok, mais on en a une de déplacée quoi. Alors.
A barbell lies on the floor. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Why does it feel so familiar?
Ah.
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. A memory from another life, when you were young and fit.
Je peux pas. Je peux pas là, faut que je fasse gaffe d'ailleurs. J'avais ramassé du soin, mais je l'ai pris inconsciemment du coup. On peut pas aller là-bas. On va reparler à la vieille. On imagine qu'elle va être fâchée, elle.
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic energy leeching. I suppose it's all over now. I guess there's no escape. Just a door? This place is curse detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house. you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well. Of course you would think that. You're nothing but a policeman. All right. You know what? I'm willing to let you investigate the doomed commercial area. We are set on the path. There's little else to do. But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? You did? Then it has to be true. I've suspected that this woman-shaped energy must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you see that she lives inside the chimney? Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post, doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking with her?
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, a small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are new and endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art. The Hunter, a towering mountain of colorful board game boxes.
Ok.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my throat in my pigs come to take me out? Trying to snuff me out?
If anything, you're afraid she'll take you out one day.
Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. You think you're so...
Comment je pourrais avoir accès à en haut? C'est ce truc là qu'il aurait fallu que je...
So much for a
There
quiet
must be
smoke.
another way into the building.
Yeah, you better keep walking. Up there, kiddo.
Peut-être la meuf qui a mon gun.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with drop.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. The lieutenant is...
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the fourth day to the Bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Merde, je connais pas mon nom et mon insigne.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi, from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic... I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by...
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize. But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen...
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
That would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months. No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff.
Shit, yeah, baby. It's the party pipeline. Why would you want to shut that down?
Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link. The lorries. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Once they reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial... I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you.
You'll be indebted to her, in a way. But one step ahead of the Union in another.
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west.
A cold breath rushes in from the bay, making its way down the alleyways and potholed streets. From Martinez to Jamrock, in the traffic you hear the clinking of glass vials, concealed beneath tarpaulin. Or is it...
A lot of it. It comes in from large Samaran factories in South Safre, Sigai, and Sinyao. The literage they must get from this...
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open the drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike. Many were squeezed to bankruptcy to fund it.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, The contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, but she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
Yes? Excellent. According to my reports, there are at least 3 lorry drivers lingering near the roundabout. Hopefully one of... It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. Of course, Detective.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building. The door rattles against your knuckles, but there's no response. The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside. The police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No, I already told you. I won't be... Go check the backyard door. Maybe someone there will.
Madame, I assure you, we are real police officers.
There is no reply, just faint sweeping sounds inside. A sturdy metal door. The door rattles again, but this time you hear an elderly woman's voice calling out from inside.
Stop banging on the door! Shut the mouth, who I am. Now go on, get out of here. The police? No, I already told. Go check the backyard door.
Look at me when I'm talking to you.
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down rude...
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. Had a battery of tests just last week. I'm practically a patchwork of interesting critters. Kinda like a man-o'-war.
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. The woman on the boat does not...
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her. On a first-name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world. It's where they grow whores like her, and they're whoremen. Pig's not half as dumb as he looks. Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Yeah?
Let's be realistic. What are you going to do? Climb up there?
You heard your partner, Piggy.
I don't condone the idea of using physical force on her. She's a girl.
I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko. Watch your back, ungulate. You've...
Je peux pas l'ouvrir avec les pieds de biche?
So much for a quiet smoke.
You see a young man on a balcony nursing a cigarette.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
Ah, je vais pisser.
There's no trouble. I'm just speaking in a lowered voice. I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
It's the god of cigarettes and youth. Ask him if he's got anything to spare.
Apologies, but this is my last one.
The god himself has denied you absolution.
I'm not sure that's a good idea. I'm not throwing anything. As you wish. Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run. My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
Martin Martinez? Good local name.
I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away?
We will remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us.
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you? No, not you. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend? How it makes sense. Friends are nice on Sunday. You don't have to work. You can just spend time with pals, watching. He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. In the neighboring windows, you can. Someone hides behind a curtain. Those windows have eyes, and those eyes are watching, spying on you three.
No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going. Good luck with the investigation.
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself. He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that. There has to be a way of getting inside the building. Let's go check out the door near the pier again. Once we found a way in, we can ask around for his apartment.
inconspicuous pile of the roofing material Eternite. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack.
Je serai en capacité de monter sur ce toit là. On va faire une discussion avec les 3 chauffeurs.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind? Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good, but those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those. It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out, anything else. Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. Us lorry drivers, camionneurs, you still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high, or laid. Not that I blame them, really. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better.
Ok, c'est pas lui. Il dit qu'il y a 2 chauffeurs, mais... Les autres, ils sont à la manif, c'est sûr. Là, je peux pas y aller. Là, il y avait le mec, mais la vieille, mais on sait pas ce qu'elle dit.
The woman still has her eyes. No response. Wherever this woman is, your word.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the weary aspect of a cornered beast.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution. The sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new way until you came along, that is. I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the black sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution. This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most... This man's got a hold over her, even 50 years later.
He was the biggest star of his day. Someone was. Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole. Diamonds? Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I was? Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Then it's contraband, Loman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo. What do I need drugs for, Loman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary. No drugs can compare. Yes, there is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
I don't like the sound of any of that. Sounds like a horrible drug. The worst one of them all.
If you don't know, you're mad, Loman. What of it? Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grad. The U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grad? No, Loman. Diamonds.
Damn this. Make her answer.
Easy. Is the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here. I would never make fun of a real low man, Herithia.
Ma'am, you're not responsible for what the client puts in your lorry, as long as the seals are not open. We officers know that.
Lay off her.
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or the seagulls. Look at all the colors and the features of this world. It's a good palate cleanser, this jamboree. Or I can just relax and let my mind carry me back where it will, to the Great Plains.
I think we're done here, no?
Yes, go.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
He was acting tough before. This probably scared him a bit. Who knows when it will come in handy? A slightly scared, racist lorryman.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you! Not before you get in there and get your ass whooped. Learn by failure, I always say.
He might have some advice, but you got to at least try to fight Measurehead first. Return if you fail.
When a bunch of ungrateful beats me, they mumble.
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath his tight-fitting shirt.
I work hard, and I would work even harder if the fuckers would let us work!
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you? Sorry, busy surveying the situation. I'm sure you'll figure something out. Wiretapping, telescopic batons, or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right?
Because we don't. We don't have air support, or any of the...
I get it. Hush hush about the secret.
Something changes in his disposition. A merciful smile in the corner of
All right, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there, out of solidarity to the RCM. First, don't fight him, obviously. Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically, grovel. That's how I do it.
Maybe that would work.
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out. Oh, sorry, friend. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do. Comes naturally. Man of honor. I respect that. We were talking about scavs, yeah?
Jette une pièce, il croit que je suis qui.
tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money...
J'ai pas grand chose, hein, en thune. C'est lui le raciste alors
Looking for something, Rod? Come to tell me to fuck off again? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our... They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Racial economic sabotage. Not in, not out. I'll never betray...
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will...
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. It's a fucking travesty, is what it is. Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so the strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. Apples. Yeah, apples.
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after he broke the seals on his Humanux lorry. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right?
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess so.
Hello again, officer. How...
C'était lui, Sealang? Parce que bien évidemment, je m'en souviens plus.
Hello, hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Sure thing. You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were, and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
You weren't quiet yourself. You were very distraught. You said the gun was a threat to your life and that you can't trust yourself with. When I said that I don't normally buy firearms, you put the gun barrel in your mouth and sort of sucked.
You sucked on a gun? Good. Very normal.
15 real.
The lieutenant looks from from you to Roy, and then back to you. It's clear that he hopes this has got to be the most. Wow, there's pity there too, in case you didn't notice. The light swirls in his face and glasses. He does.
Sure, man.
Putain, mais je me souviens qu'il y avait un... Ah, lui, c'est lui, c'est lui. C'est peut-être lui.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's so cool. You investigating the local drug trade like some cool narc? But I am not a lorry driver. I am just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that. Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He hasn't...
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder, and he's an... Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. No! That's insane. It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week and he sent you here. Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd, you know.
There's more here. He's afraid of this crowd, whoever they are, more than he is of the racist lorry man.
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my station and ask him.
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up. It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved.
C'est la meuf qui a acheté mon gun, je pense.
It could be. She was strange.
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses.
Ça se trouve, c'est la meuf là, qui est toute gentille. On va lui reparler vite fait.
officer. How are things? Of course. Where to? No problem.
On va reparler aux fachos.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again? I don't know what you're talking about. He did something. He stole his employer's goods and another lorryman's job.
He's been expecting this. He's really puffed himself up.
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
No. He means la puta madre.
The name resounds like a bell in the air. A dark gong. Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fucking peonies who'd do anything for him. Multi-ethnic drug addicts.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers were to be stealing from him, then it's a good peony's job to find out who that is. It's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking racist is standing in the way, protecting this fucking thief.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen that corpse in the ceramic armor there. Did his shitty little guild protect him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you a barely perceptible nod. I've softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job. The
Oh,
main
ta gueule.
thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look?
Oh yeah? And what goods are those? There's some kind of homo thing? Make me, runt.
We'll just have to ask someone else about the lady driver. Let's go.
C'est quand même une dinguerie. Hein. C'est quand même une dinguerie de rater ses lancers, quoi. Mais c'est scripté ou pas?
Huh? What is it? What do you want? Did you just call me a lady, Harry Fair?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it. The woman's malevolent cackling fills the roundabout. Despair creeps into you, getting fat on your weakness. Whatever noble intent, you're still coming up with sentences. That's a step up from total annihilation, right? He watches you melt down stoically. From behind, nothing you can say would make you feel any better. Cop gives up the detective genre for social realism. Another police officer.
Putain. Je vais parler à lui ou pas?
Looking for something hot? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Lowman, you caught me at an opportune moment. This awful weather keeps me awake. You can entertain me with your questions.
Merde.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, that's so cool. You invest. Who said that?
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I would. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. Nothing.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd, you know.
There's more here.
Shush, please. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please, don't get me into this mess. It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. All of them. I don't know.
Who exactly is talking about this?
All of them. Even the ones I don't know.
It could be. She was strange.
All right.
Déjà, je vais te dire, on va sauvegarder.
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off? I don't know what you're talking about. Headed something?
He's been expecting this. He's really puffed himself up.
Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Evashol West. You don't run Martinez. You...
No. He means La Puta.
The name resounds like a bell. It looks like the lieutenant has a plan.
Yeah. Then I presume...
Yeah?
Not just the unions.
You're not pure.
No. It's not a heart.
I'm not...
You've seen that cop.
Nah, you...
The lieutenant...
On va voir si c'est scripté du coup.
A barely perceptible. I softened him up.
Parce que là, je peux lui faire cracher le morceau à 80%. Mais j'ai raté le lancer.
Men like this
Okay.
only respect two things. Strength. Time to turn up the volume.
Fuck you. I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Je vais te baiser pour l'éternité.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green, banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
Un taco vert bousillé. Tu peux aller te faire foutre, d'accord. Il agite la main en signe de mépris.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he saves face.
Past the monument, down there. The
Il
green
vous indique
temple.
le sud.
Now
Il faut
leave me
dépasser
the
la
fuck
statue.
alone, okay.
Moi la paix.
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too.
Ok, on a réussi à le lancer. Ok. Donc. Mec, ça va plus vite à la manette en vrai. Dans le sud. Là c'est un taco vert. Ah, c'est celui-là.
This screen found A to Z, contemporain, is part.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. It feels like you're peeking into someone's home residence. Inside,
use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
pry bar in hand. Goddamn maggot. Drag your ass to the gym and do some reps right now. Another futile thunk sounds in the brisk coastal air.
This has been hard enough. No need to make it any harder.
He smashes it into the window. Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor.
It went better than I expected.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films. One of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress. One of her shoulders. A feeling of tenderness washes over you. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't. The actresses and the rear actor. Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but...
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Would be over 100 at least. Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without the dial key. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation.
The smell of 1,000. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
Sandpaper? A novel technique. Must be to offer some extra grip to the driver's foot.
The movie stars are still. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for it's an issue of Petit Ferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from it. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine.
Okay.
Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Euler. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but
the Euler frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. It closed the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged... I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Evrard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening. My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly. As elegant as they are, I don't think they are...
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
I'm going to say no. We should return to the murder case, see what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Debrief over.
I saw you poking around in Lady Driver's lorry. She in trouble? Nah, man. I was telling you the truth. I really didn't think it'd be her. She's okay. So
What else do you know about her?
nothing. We just talked a bit about life and stuff. She left me a key so I can park a lawyer if the jam broke. So, she in trouble or what? Oh man, that's like a load off my mind. All that stress was messing up my rhymes.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against it.
Ok. On va pouvoir aller à Joyce.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask.
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a blood...
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail. They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer. Every worker a member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric and not a serious demand, but the stridency of it seems to have spooked them. Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbor. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders. It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It will be all of them. The decision is already made.
It's not good, no. My only hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Débardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty. These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all. As I said, a bloodbath.
Maybe a good bloodletting is just what Martinez needs.
Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective of the citizens' militia. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell.
Down a deep, black well.
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste, Welchman-Lorenz, Eintracht. A warning sign, however. The operations concerned all take place in third or fourth world countries. Guarding facilities.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, the Seminese Islands. Countries that... Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may...
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, ma'am?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel. I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us. Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching.
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. That's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor. About a rumor. In any case, it's what the colonel's remaining colleagues believe.
You'll meet her soon enough, you feel.
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face.
I can't remember.
That's all right, ma'am. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate.
What else? Nationality?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once.
Must be hard to force your face to move in a new fashion. If you continue like this, you'll have an aneurysm. Then you'll have to.
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol. You should show those meatheads exactly how savage you really are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved. That's wise. Our goal is to avert catastrophe. Besides, until the executions start, truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
5 days, not more.
It's a matter of days, not weeks. Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a...
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst case.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask. Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
For about half a minute, in silence.
It was taken with a trigger not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move.
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars. I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent. Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels. Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments.
Somewhere in an office lit by a single green desk lamp, Captain Ptolemaeus Price, 58, bald and bespectacled, is writing in a ledger on his desk. Rows and rows of days and weeks, laconic remarks in a single... In Martinez, looking into Krenel, he writes in one. Then the man puts down his pen and rubs his temples with both hands. Outside, there is a siren. Distant gunshots on the streets of the Jamrock Quarter.
That makes sense to me. We have no more use for a map of the waterways, just like we don't need sailors the way we used to. This is what the sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by.
Where is he now?
That is precisely what the sailors feared when they drew these maps. A fear of drowning within one's own corpse. His platoon members? The other contractors, though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade. Is there anything else I can help you with? Why, yes I am. boat? No. It is called Cordelate.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a breeze ripples through the sails and tugs at your hair. Below, the sleek, fish-like shape of the hull parts the water. Beneath that, a resounding darkness. You're reminded of something. Or someone.
It's a pleasure craft, a 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business. Okay, how about Cordelate 19? Why? Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cordelate, and its hull is 19 paces long. Why Dolores?
Because it stings in an ancient and beautiful way.
Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you for the suggestion. My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? I mean, we are on Le Caillou, are we not?
She nods attentively.
Good. What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking. The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil...
She nods.
Ok. Qu'est-ce qu'on pourrait se mettre? Empathie. On peut toujours pas passer là?
Metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment. This could be a way into the apartment building the smoking man vanished into.
Good. We had enough problems with bums and drunks and thieves loitering in the hallway. You have no business here.
You're well versed in the kind of threatening legalese that implies criminal liability, but in fact has no meaning whatsoever.
I know my rights, and don't you mar me, boy.
Miss, would it help if we offer to show you our badges?
Hold your horses. your stinking badge. Just come in.
Ok, let's go. Je vais aller me refaire un peu d'eau. J'arrive. Ok les gars. Donc, on va parler à la vieille qui nous a cassé les couilles.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bro.
This woman's health is failing her. There's not much to do. Not in this damp.
Go ahead then. What do you want to know, policeman? Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here. Don't you worry. Pea-brain. Someone played a trick on you. Martin Martinez is a name for anyone who comes from Martinez. Like Jim Jamrock or Raoul Ravachol.
Oops. You really didn't get the joke there.
I thought it was obvious. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name.
Allez devant mon écran. Comment je joue? Non. Non. Allez, va t'asseoir.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right? What's he in trouble for? Talk? He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
Ask away, policeman. The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. She leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
She mumbles some kind of a response. You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The number on the panel says the walking stops abruptly, but no one comes to. You can feel tension on the other side. A poor communard from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not obligated to open the door if you...
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that apartment.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid...
Est-ce que je passe par le balcon? Allez, prendre ça. Fais voir les lunettes. Logique, autorité. Logique, je m'en bats un peu les couilles.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone number 28. This is where the clean...
Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door.
Non mais il va se sauver, non?
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good? The smoker on the balcony. This is why we are here, right? He might know something about the murder. So tomorrow 9 p.m.?
Suddenly, he's a little worried about your memory.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. You'll get him. No one answers.
We should return tomorrow.
Pardon. On va tester l'exit après.
A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20 degrees Celsius. Is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern wall connects the room with the neighboring apartment. It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the...
Je pouvais choper le balcony. Ah non, très bien ça. On est sur un autre balcony.
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves. But here you are. Yeah, you You've got me now. The dynamic between us has completely changed. I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage.
Actually, there is a shortage of people.
We weren't put on this earth to make...
Alors fais-moi voir si le jean il est pas mieux. Ouais, on s'en bat un peu les couilles quoi qu'il arrive.
The pockets of these new jeans are perfect for sticking your hand into. Makes you look cool, calm, and collected. As your hand... Hey, it's a chewing gum wrapper. It reminds you of the fruity juice of apricots. You should inspect it closer if you have time. Something about the wrapper's text not familiar in a good way, you might say. A crinkled chewing gum wrapper. The worn label reads, Tutti Frutti. It smells faintly of apricots, with a barely noticeable twinge of cinnamon. You neatly fold the wrapper into a square before you put it back into your...
Ok, donc il y a un exit qui peut être intéressant.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to... Oh, not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner. It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. Like me. Right now, I'm doing nothing at all. Yes, I keep hoping a shaft will collapse on me, but somehow it never happens. Does anyone in a city like this?
If there's pain about any particular home she's lost, she's buried it deep, fortified herself against it.
Shoot, Piggy. It's what...
Non, ça c'est l'exit. C'est pas celle-là qu'on veut utiliser.
You hear someone walking up a poor communal.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have
warrant?
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside.
A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a club.
Do I have to open it? Do you have a warrant?
Let's go. We...
Qu'est-ce qu'elle donne cette sortie là? Euh... Et j'ai pas la touche interagir avec la manette, je comprends pas. Ah oui, je voulais aller voir là-haut. Oh, c'est galère. Hein. Oh, waouh.
Hello again, sweetie.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Attaboy. It's coming back to him. You had your mesolimbic reward pathway worried there. Not thinking about drinking all that time. Let's celebrate right now by licking that stain off the counter. Do it. It'll be wild. Calmly, the lieutenant looks out of the window, then to you, licking the tasty rum stain off the counter, then out of the window again.
What are you doing? We should move.
A real drink would go well with those cigarettes you're looking for. That's a great
Can I help you? Do I have a shaker in...
He sounds irritated.
Am I wearing a little bow tie? Am I smiling? Do you see me smiling and shaking my little shaker? Because I'm not a bartender.
What you want is a goddamn drink. How is that so hard to understand?
Well, you're not getting it, asshole!
This is a thoughtful exchange, but can we move on, please?
Alors, il y avait celle-là. On va voir si on peut l'ouvrir.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent
Non, on peut pas. Par contre, visiblement...
The door is closed. Still nothing. The lieutenant gives you. He doesn't like where this is going. You should punch a fucking hole in it. The murmur in your ears receives. There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, reunited on your feet. It's pretty clear a normal cop is... You may be what they call a big dick cop. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told. The bed is cold and not particularly...
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
Kim also tries not to look at the pile of taped viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the potted plant dying in the corner. But it's all just too morbid to ignore. He nods.
No problem, officer.
peut pas monter plus haut. Ok. Écoutez les gars, on va s'arrêter là pour aujourd'hui. F5.